I'm Wu Hoi Fai. I'm the artistic director of Pen's Theatre Production.
Hi, I'm Daphne Mandel. I am French. I grew up in Paris, where I lived for 33 years before I moved to Hong Kong in 2008. Obviously, from the preconceived idea and image that I had from Hong Kong from the one I have now after spending 15 years, it's only been surprises, excitement, discoveries, and unexpected surprise, right? Because what they show about Hong Kong abroad is 20% of what the city really is, right? And as I was saying before, what really pushed me to go in depth into Hong Kong, I mean, I've discovered the other 80% of Hong Kong, right? The whole, like I spent maybe a couple of days a week in the new territories, just going everywhere around, with more than maybe 200, villages and near the border and so on. So none of this is, how can I say, presented as being part of Hong Kong. To foreigners who live abroad. And even those who live here, when they see some of my pictures, they have no clue that this exists. And I think that desire to keep going in depth in Hong Kong was also for me an idea that at least I was opening people's eyes of all the rich diversity of Hong Kong in terms of landscape, heritage, whether it's architectural or industrial heritage or craftsmanship. So meeting all these people whose businesses are disappearing, whether they repair instruments or build all kind of very specific savoir-faire that are so particular to Hong Kong and that tend to disappear because of, the frenetic development of Hong Kong, especially in the northern part of it. I thought, okay, that is meaningful. And I think that's what feeding me this desire to continue to pursue that route. So. But as a lot of people say, Paris is like a museum city. It doesn't get more beautiful in a way, but I've also come to realize that a beautiful city is not necessarily what makes your life exciting, right? And in a way, I have found a city like Hong Kong, chaotic, full of contrasts, way more stimulating than, I mean, at least from a creative point of view. But because I sourced my art inspiration from the city, it took me way more than 2 years to take initiative to really wander around. And it's funny to see how when I look at my artwork, it really coincides with how much I knew about Hong Kong. Because my first 3-4 years of artwork are all facades. They're buildings that are like, right? They're like objects, they're like a decor. Actually, they're like a decor. There's nothing behind, or I don't know what's behind because I'm too scared to go inside. So I'm just imagining little whimsical scenes in the windows. It all comes out of my mind. It doesn't come from what I have witnessed because I'm not going in depth. So at that time, I was still only, going around Hong Kong Island, Wan Chai, North Point, Quarry Bay. I thought North Point was really wild, And then
Already,
already, right? And then maybe 4-5 years later, I started spending much more time in Kowloon, and I guess Michael Wolff played an important role in showing this high density through his photography. And so I was really intrigued by what he was photographing, especially the round corner building, this kind of almost like reminiscence of Art Deco in the architecture, really was kind of chasing those. So I spent more time in there, but it's really when, so I was hiking a lot, and when you hike a lot around Hong Kong, eventually you come across abandoned structures, right?
Yes,
Whether they're schools or war remains or villages near the border and so on. And then I started joining this group of urban explorers, and it just opened my eyes on how many ruins there are across Hong Kong. And it wasn't just schools, it was churches, it was cinemas, it was mansions, it was orphanage, military sites, police station, hospitals, everything. And that took me all over. That's completely fascinating from an artist point of view, from a landscape architect point of view, from an urban plan point of view. I mean, it's like it's all happening, and it's like the materialization of change in such a visual way, right? It's nothing abstract about it. It's all there, all at the same time. That's what I would like to spend more time working on or researching, and hopefully transposing into my art is those fringes. So whether it's the rural fringe or the urban fringe, where all this northern territory are losing their rural characteristic, right? And their agricultural use as well, right? And it's completely fascinating, actually. Of course, I'm so aware that our life is not real, in the sense that it's so privileged here as a foreigner, and that's maybe why. Like, I feel like Hong Kong's given me so much in 15 years, and I feel like I've been incredibly privileged with the life we've had here. So maybe my way to kind of compensate or give back for that is just to keep digging. That's how I feel.